Good morning. So I'm just doing a quick video this morning. I'm in a bit of a raw place and a vulnerable place this morning because I've just been through a bit of a major healing this morning on myself. Now, I'm just going to start by saying that those drum healings and, when we have our healing and drawings and reading sessions, those things that I say to you and guide you guys to do, guess what? They also apply to me. And, I found it hard to be open and vulnerable because, I don't want to feel all my hurt and all my pain either. So today's a very special day for me. Today is the day my eldest granddaughter was born, and she was born on my granny's birthday. And I became a granny on my granny's birthday. And last week I put up a drum healing to cleanse our sacral chakra. And our sacral chakra is around about our womb area if you're a lady. And, around your reproductive area for boys. So anyway, something happened yesterday and it got me thinking this morning about all my smashed hopes, about all my battered dreams, about all those things that just didn't happen yet because they just weren't allowed to be incubated and nurtured and everything. So this morning, the healing that's happened in me is, and I've had to go back and really acknowledge my inner teenager's hurt and pain this morning. When you do inner child healing, it's very, very important to also, go through all the stages. Go through your inner child healing. Go through your, young mother healing. Do the older woman healing, or if you're a male, that applies to your young man and your young father and your older father. I'm looking down the barrel of 55 next year. Like in February, I'll be 55. And, I've had a lot of dark stuff happen in my life because, I wasn't nurtured. You could say I was starved of a lot of things. And to be truthful, I wasn't equipped for life out in the world. I had to actually find out a lot of things and learn a lot of things for myself. So I went back this morning to my teenager and all of her dreams that were just like smashed eggs, and the life in those eggs wasn't allowed to come to pass. And so, like I've said to you, it applies to me too, about being open, about being vulnerable. And so I acknowledged my teenager's hurt today. Because to be truthful with you, the hoarder's disorder that I have and that I'm in recovery from actually stemmed back from when I was teenage year. I can tell you it started when I was 16. And, so this morning I've given over all those smashed up dreams and those, all those dreams that didn't happen. And I've laid a new batch of eggs as such. I've named my dreams, and like my actual dreams for now, because it's never too late to dream, and it's never too late to see them come out to be something amazing and wonderful. And I've also done the healing for my children and my grandchildren, because when you do that stuff for yourself, whatever pain and stuff that you've had, it flows through to your children and to your grandchildren if you don't stop it with you. So, like I just want you to know that what I've said to you guys, and what I say to you guys in the live readings, what I do in the drum healing sessions here on YouTube, that all applies to me as well. I love you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. I might just add that I did feel my grandmother with me as I healed, and as I unloaded, and as I cried. And at the end of it, I felt this wonderful, wonderful sensation over my womb area, over my sacral chakra, like it was cleared for the first time in forever. And it's a long time since I was a teenager. It's a long time, that I've been carrying around that pain. So, it's never too late. Just know that. And know that if you need help, you just need to say, hey, Kimberly, I can't do this by myself. I need some help. And to email me at celebratingthedivineyou@gmail.com, or message me on my Facebook page. I will promise you I will always respond to you. We may have time differences, we might be in different time zones, but I promise you that I will always answer you. Okay, bye again. Okay, so I've just been down to the Chook and Dark Run, and I've been doing their waters, and I just sat on my chair down there. Oh, yes, I have a chair down in my duck run. I like to watch the chooks and the ducks do their thing. They're very calming and relaxing, and for me it's a really quiet place down there. Even though they're making all their noise, it's still quiet, and got all these beautiful trees in there. And so I was just sitting down there. Hello, Ellie. How are you? I was just sitting down there with the breeze, just letting the breeze cleanse me, and just take away anything else that happened to be still residual from the healing that I did this morning. Now, I'm going to share with you now. This is my beautiful cat, Ellie. She loves to come, and she knows she's my soul cat, and she knows when I need her and I need her beautiful healing energy. And now I've done a YouTube video on the healing energy of cats, and Ellie's just a beautiful girl. So I'm going to take you through some steps for healing from the miscarriage and the stillbirth of either your physical babies or your dreams. Because babies and dreams are both incubated, they're both carried to term, and then at the right time they are birthed. Okay, so the first step to healing from a miscarriage, whether you're a little baby or dream just slipped away quietly, or they were aborted, or they died in your womb, and then you still had to go through the trauma of birthing that baby, knowing, or the dream, knowing that it was dead. Thank you, Ellie. Bye. Knowing that it was dead and it wasn't going to be alive, and it would never be alive here in the physical world. So first important step is to name your child, or name the dream or the vision that miscarried or aborted or was stillborn. Okay? If you don't know what sex your child was, there's two things you can do. You can either drop into your heart and just feel whether it was a girl or a boy, and then, name that child. Or you can connect with your child and ask what their name is. And, with your dreams, connect with yourself. Connect in your heart and allow yourself to remember that particular dream or that particular vision that you had that might have been squashed or battered or whatever happened to it. So first important part is name it, because when you name your child or your dream, you are acknowledging and you are validating that you carried that child or that dream. They say, I read once, and this really affected me when I was a young mum. I read that your children are pieces of your heart that walk out on the outside. Okay? And every time a child or a dream dies within you, it's like a piece of your heart has died also. So that's the first part. Now the second part is, a doctor with physical babies will do a curette or do whatever it is that needs to be to clean you out physically. Okay? Well, there's two things that you can do to cleanse spiritually and emotionally and take away that spirit of death that got left behind in your womb or your sacral chakra when either a child or a dream died. So, second important step is you can get a sage smudging stick, and light up the end, and you can do a body cleanse, okay? And particularly over your womb area, and just allow that to cleanse your womb on a spiritual and emotional basis as you release that child or that dream that you've just named over to the light, and you bring back love into that space. It's always important when you release something to the light, you bring back love into that empty space. Okay? Third thing you can do, and it's really simple, is a little cord cutting ceremony. Okay? So we've acknowledged and validated our child or our dream. We've cleansed our womb and our sacral area. And thirdly, we're doing this cord cutting ceremony, and we're going to ask Archangel Michael to help us. So, because Archangel Michael can cut us away from our emotional pain, and he can cut us away from physical people and situations and stuff. And so he can cut you away from the physical pain of losing your child or your dream too. Okay? So let's get 2 candles. Can be any sort of candles, tea light candles, big candles, whatever you want to do. You light those candles, and then you get two pieces of red string. And that can be just curling ribbon, it can be wool, it can be string, it can be anything. Okay? Alright? And you lay those 2 cords down between the candles. Okay? And you get a pair of scissors, and you say, I cut myself away. So I cut any cords between me and my lost baby or my lost dream. Name them. Name that lost baby or lost dream. And then I cut away from the emotional pain from between the baby and from myself. So you do it 2 ways. So you do it between you and the baby or dream, and the emotional, use the emotional pain, cut yourself away from the emotional pain and the physical pain of losing that baby or dream, and then you cut from the baby or the dream to you, because it's a 2-way thing. Okay? And as you physically cut those cords in your mind, it will actually acknowledge you've cut yourself away from those. And Archangel Michael, with his big blue sword, powerful blue sword, will help you with cutting yourself away from that. Okay? So, and like I said before, it's really important, unfortunately, when a mother loses a child in her womb, she still has to birth that child. And for us, when we are healing from the pain of lost and broken dreams and stuff like that, we also have to bring that to birth and send it to the light, and then fill ourselves back up with love. Life is our cycle. It's a cycle of life and a cycle of death, and we don't always understand why things happen. We don't always understand why we lose things and why they die. But, sometimes, the last stage of grief, it goes through anger, denial, can't remember them all. Anger, denial, some bargaining, and then I think there's something else, and then there's acceptance. There's 5 stages. But sometimes we have to come to an acceptance that things were not meant to be, that the timing wasn't right. Or, with babies, we all made choices before we even got here of our time and how we'd go. And unfortunately, sometimes, that time is short and precious, but that time even if it was only for a little while in our womb. It was still valid, and it was still valid, and it was a life, and it was still really, really important and had a heart connection with us. So whether, and we don't know always why they had to leave us so young. We're never going to understand that. But as far as, our dreams and visions are concerned, it's never, 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 never too late to birth new dreams and to see them come alive and to fruition. I felt for a long time a lot of my life was stolen from me due to narcissism. And I had a lot of rage about that. And, slowly I've dealt with that and released that because, I can't keep it inside of me. And, excuse me. And I've come to realise in the last couple of years that it's not too late. It's not too late. I can still have the dreams, even the ones that I used to have back when I was a teenager. They might be in different form now. It's like when you fall pregnant again. It's not the same child, but you're still going to love that child, and you're still going to, you're going to absolutely love that child. And so you're going to also love the dream, whatever way it comes out, because it's not going to be the same as it was originally. But it still doesn't mean that it can't happen. And, I didn't necessarily succeed as a parent with my own children because of the way I was brought up and the way I came through. But, I've got 9 beautiful grandchildren now, and I can still make a difference, and I can still make an impact on their life and help them to carry their dreams to full term and to bring them to fruition. And I can, I'm now in a place where I am better able equipped to support my daughters as well. It's not been an easy journey, and a lot of people haven't had an easy journey. They've been to so many dark spots. They have been, many times where they've curled up in a ball on their bed and they've cried, and they've been in fetal position and they've cried, and they wanted to just give up. And then something happens and they get up and they give it another go. And they show up again. This is why it's important to not to judge, because you really don't know what's going on for them behind closed doors. You don't know what's going on for them in their heart. And so this is why it's so important for us to heal, because as we heal and we get all that residual stuff out from miscarriage and stillbirth, whether it be of babies, whether it be of dreams, then we've got the capacity to allow more love and more light will then shine into the world. This is why we need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and allow that pain to come out and the pain to be then healed. Because if we don't let go of our pain, then it manifests into so many physical things. It manifests into diabetes, it manifests into thyroid issues, it manifests into heart issues, it manifests into addictions, it manifests into so much stuff that can just come out then through our physical body, because we can't carry anymore. So once we can't carry anymore, then our body says, whoa, and then we end up dealing with the physical diseases as well, because we're in a state of dis-ease. Okay? We're in a state of dis-ease. And that's where diseases come from. Every disease, everything that goes on in our bodies is physically manifested from the unresolved mental, emotional, and spiritual issues that are going on inside of us. And we want this world to heal. We want the manifestation of love and light over the whole world. The bad things that are going on now simply comes back to unresolved hurt and unresolved pain. And that unresolved hurt and that unresolved pain lashing out. Okay? So, anyway, I've rambled on enough, but remember the key things. Name your baby and all your dream and vision, and acknowledge and validate it, that it was alive inside of you. 2, do the cleansing. Get that sage stick and cleanse your body and your spirit and your emotions. And 3, do the cord cutting between you and the person or situation, and the person and the situation or you. Okay? So, I will see you again soon. And I hope that for some of you this has made some small difference and given you some practical steps to be able to heal and to move forward. I love you all, and remember always, you are a magnificent and awesome and wonderful person, and to celebrate that. I love you all. Bye. Just me again. I forgot the 4th and the most important step to healing from miscarriage, stillbirth and abortion of your baby or your dreams, and that is to forgive yourself. Because when this happens, we blame ourselves and we carry the guilt and we carry the shame. And quite often when it happens, you still carry the guilt and the shame, but other people move on from it and they forget it, but you never forget it. So as a last step, after you've named your baby and your dream, and you've validated and acknowledged your trauma, and when you've cleansed your sacral and your womb area, and you've cut the cords with the help of Archangel Michael, then the most important step is to forgive yourself, because it unties you from the guilt and the shame that you may have taken in and that has surrounded you in that situation. So, that is me for today. Bye.